We're almost wrapping up day one here in Vancouver at the Vancouver Resource Investment Conference. And before we go, we've got Robert Boyd, CEO of Endurance Gold, joining us to tell more about his latest drilling results and what else is potentially becoming a big catalyst for the company. Robert, so just a few days ago before the conference, you released some results. Tell us a little bit more, in your own words, about why that sets you up for more systematic drilling for the new year.
Well, that's a good question, Rachel, because the release we just put out this past week was regarding our Eagle Zone results. And the Eagle Zone is a zone we discovered in our first program on the property, and we did some drilling on that near surface, both RC and diamond drilling. But we decided we wanted to go back into that area and do a little bit of additional drilling to raise the confidence level. And as a result of that, we put out some very good intersections that we're very pleased with. But we provided a summary of the 40 drill holes now that we put in that zone. And those 40 drill holes extend now the Eagle Zone over about 550 meters. The arithmetic average of the intersections in there is 14.7 meters in width. And the weighted average of the gold content was just under 5 grams, about 4.9 grams per ton. And we followed that in those 40 holes down to about 100 meters below surface. So it provides an indication that there's a pretty interesting zone there right near surface that we originally discovered. We've got some confidence with it and provides the data for us to hand over for a resource calculation at some point in the future. Now, the important thing is that this is only just one part of our zone, and we've been drilling for the last 3 years outside of that, both the Imperial Zone and other zones, that we've now demonstrated there's continuity of mineralization over, when I say continuity, I mean that we can get drill zone hits of significant gold over 1.5 kilometers of strike length. And now we've traced it in vertical above sea level, vertical continuity of 1 kilometer with depth below surface of about 400 meters below surface with drill intersections. And within that, the success of the drill holes that we've got over the entire 1.5 by 1 kilometer vertical, we have about 70% of the holes that exceed at least 3 meters width and at least 3.4 grams per ton.
And you said earlier that you wanted to raise the confidence level at Eagle Zone.
Yes.
At what point is it raised enough? And when do you move on to your next phase?
Well, for the Eagle Zone in particular, we had gaps in there because of the RC drilling and lack of diamond drilling. And the diamond drilling provides us the higher confidence of an intersection. So we went with larger diameter, slower drilling to get the best recovery. And so that filled some gaps that we had in that 550 meter that we provided guidance on in our press release of January 13th.
Now, the company has been around since 2005, so that's a 20-year-old company. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you.
But, cyclically, it's a really tough market, especially for juniors right now, and it has been for years.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you looking out for so that you stay above the folds?
Well, it's important to emphasize that despite our history, our company is 60% held by insiders. I personally own 6%, and 2 other directors collectively own about 50%. So approximately 59% is held by the three insiders. So we're very committed to this company. And in part, we've funded a lot of this with our own injection of capital over the years. And the last financing we did was at 20 cents, and that was all completed by insiders at a 20-cent hard dollar financing with a half warrant at 35 cents. So,
thank you for that.
Yeah.
When's the next milestone for the company? Is there some sort of date in mind?
Well, just to kind of finish in terms of the highlights of what our drilling were last year, we've talked about Eagle just because that was the most recent press release. But we've discovered 2 other zones at depth. One, the Lower Imperial, and our deepest hole to date, about 650 meters down hole. We hit a zone down there that's about 15 meters wide, running about 4.5 to 4.7 grams. And within that, there's a zone of about 8 meters width of 7.7 grams per ton in that intersection. So it's a brand new zone at depth, indicating that the potential of this system, not only did we extend Imperial at depth with that drill hole, but we kept that drill hole going and found this new zone about 200 meters structurally below the Imperial zone. So it really opens up a lot more of the system for further exploration, both up dip, down dip, and along strike, indicating the system's still wide open for expansion in excess of that 1.5 kilometers of strike and depth that we've talked about. So our goal is to continue to grow that system with our exploration in the future, and then both along strike and a dip with additional drilling, and do additional surface work, because on top of that, we did some surface work along trend from this structure, and we'll be providing some updates on that work within the next month to 2 months. And then we have 7 other parallel structures on the property, some of which have got gold, where we've collected grabs up to 9 grams and up to 24 grams per ton gold, all associated with antimony in these signatures. And this antimony is a significant part of the district because we're located in the Braylorn mining camp. And that Braylorn mining camp hosts the former Braylorn Pioneer mine, and historic production from that mine was about 17 grams per ton of over 4 million ounces, I think 4.1 or 4.2 million ounces. So,
well, why not talk about antimony before? Why is it now something that you're going more public
well,
with?
that's a good question, because I don't think the recognition existed in the past in terms of what this antimony associated with gold, like we have in our district that we're controlling now with about 5,400 meters square hectare property. That property controls all these parallel structures, and our purpose of that was to control the antimony prospects. And these antimony prospects always have gold associated with them. And the most important thing to emphasize is that we've done, the scientific literature indicates that the age, date, and the fluid chemistry of these antimony gold occurrences that we're working on, including this discovery we're talking about, are all the same age as Braylorn, but they look totally different. It's all in breccias and stockwork, so it's not veins, and that's why the old timers probably overlooked this discovery. We focused all of our work to date on communicating strictly the gold values of what we've got. But there is an antimony association, and it's continuous.
Right.
And we want to provide some updates on that to shareholders in the next couple of months, to indicate the potential for this system, and to help in our own understanding of the system in terms of the zoning, because often this antimony in the high-level orogenic systems, the nature of it, the antimony occurrences, can help you in understanding the zoning of the system and where you might go for coarse gold. So,
Well, thank you for your time today for a little chat.
well, thank you, Rachel.